Ignorant Millennials. Welcome to the show. As usual, I'm never alone.
Never.
I think I was though in one episode. But I'm joined by my the co-hosts. Got Lesedi with me.
What's up?
I got Lance with
Hi
me.
guys, I'm back.
And we have
Mr. Six, Mr. C.
Oh my
Mr.
God.
God knows what.
and as well we have a beautiful, beautiful special
Very
guest.
beautiful.
Hello.
Her name
Thank
is
you.
Thando.
Hi,
How you
guys.
doing, Thando?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very
so
well.
soft-spoken.
So before we get into it and go deep into today's discussion, what we're gonna discuss, how we usually start it is with an introduction. Who is Thando? What do you do? Do you bake cookies? Do you have kids?
But let's do a quick fire before we sort of get into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Baking or cooking?
Wow, you just had to.
Baking.
Really?
Yeah, baking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I suck at baking, but go.
What would you be your favorite destination outside of South Africa? And no Thailand, no Bali.
Why? What if it's their favorite?
Everyone wants to go there.
It's so...
Venice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Venice.
Okay.
I like water and culture, so Venice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heading in culture, Mangwane.
So let me ask you in terms of, let me try to figure out what type of guys you're into.
Oh my God.
So Lunga Shabalala or Maps Maponyane?
None.
Yo.
Okay.
Okay. Who then?
Yeah, none.
None.
Who then?
No,
Like, give us a
like
celebrity.
A celebrity.
Yes. Which closely resembles the type
Your
of
type,
guys,
yeah.
You know what the problem is, right? I don't have an actual type like physically.
Okay, I get you.
I have like a
You don't get
mental
nothing.
type. Like I don't date guys who are not intelligent.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Maps ain't in.
Okay.
Never
Let's
mind.
do it.
No, I'm not saying no. I said none because I don't know Maps and Lunga's intelligence. Yeah,
Okay.
so I can't judge them on their physicality.
Okay, so tell us, who is you?
Who am I? Okay, so what I do is I'm a candidate attorney.
Oh.
It's my second year now.
CA. Tell them. you know the real CAs get offended when
No one gets offended. Cat, please, no one gets offended. We all
Tell
know
them,
who's
see,
we all know who's a CA.
Oh, we are
no
the
one
real
gets
CAs. Okay, so it's my second year as a candidate attorney, and if all goes well, I'll be an attorney next year. I work at a law firm, one of the big five, and then I run a channel called Tea Sundays.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm a fun person. I'm loving, love my friends, love my family. That's just who I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell us about like Tea Sundays.
Sundays,
What is
yeah.
Tea Sundays? What do you guys talk about? Are you guys like sipping tea and
Wow.
or spilling tea?
I think they're spilling tea. Yeah. It sounds like
I saw an
they're
episode,
spilling
they're
tea.
spilling tea.
Wow, so
On a Sunday evening. May the Lord bless you all.
Amen, hallelujah. So, Tea Sundays is just a channel about conversations,
Okay.
kind of like you guys, but except that I'm usually the one doing the interviews, behind the camera. And yeah, just sort of getting to know people, getting to know their stories. My main focus is like Black healthy love, careers, and just conversations about like life. So whatever it may be, depression, health, etc., etc.
So-
That's my main focus.
Okay, so does it feel weird now not being the the host and interviewing someone
No.
out of your element?
No, it actually feels good. Hey, it's nice to have a conversation for once, because usually, like when you're the interviewer, like you have to keep your opinions to yourself, and you just nod.
Unless you're cat.
Yeah, unless you can.
Unless you're
Unless you're cat.
Unless you're cat, then you just...
Unless you're
Yeah,
cat.
cat wants to be heard
Okay.
all the time.
I usually keep my opinions to myself. I kind of want the person to tell the story.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Ladies and
we
gentlemen.
shouldn't change, cat. We shouldn't change at all.
Yeah, just
Don't
Stay who
change.
you are.
Don't change.
Stay
We love
I
you.
like
We
that
love
you
you,
sort
cat.
of touched on Black healthy love because our topic for today
It's not
is
healthy at all.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
unhealthy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start on today's topic, just want to inform you guys we actually are collaborating with Thando, and please, after this video, like, subscribe on a video as well, and comment and watch all her videos as well.
Tea Sundays.
And there is part 2 of this video will also be available on her own channel. Tea Sundays is the name. But without any further ado, let's introduce today's topic with this video.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping your mouth shut.
Thanks for minding your own business.
Come on, show me the good ones. Thanks for not telling my girlfriend. Say that to me.
Hi.
Thanks for not telling anyone.
Trash.
Trash.
Yeah, no, that's sad. It's very, very
Trash.
Very, very
And I
sad.
mean it in the best way. Trash.
So what's your guys' take on femicide and this whole, especially in this past couple of weeks, it's been really gloomy in South Africa, especially if you're on social media and stuff. So
that's true.
what's your take?
Okay, I'll start.
Everyone, no one wants to go.
Like,
Yeah, okay.
okay, I'll start since I never get to speak.
Let them know.
Jokes. My thoughts are that, first of all, I think it is an epidemic in South Africa, and I do take it very seriously. But I find it problematic or slightly concerning that it has to be the extreme of something that makes us raise our voices
Exactly.
over something.
Exactly.
So for me, I probably out of my group of family and friends, I probably don't know anyone who's never experienced some form of sexual abuse. So I think it's problematic that we only raise it when someone gets killed, and then we're like, oh, femicide is an issue, because I think it starts way before that. There's things like emotional abuse, psychological abuse that then spread to physical abuse, etc., etc. And then I think all of those things kind of pile up, and you hide it and you hide it. Because in some contexts, women are murdered within their relationships.
Yes.
And we don't talk about it, or it's at work, it's covered
Exactly.
up. I have so many examples in the country where women expressed the fact that they were being sexually harassed, and then they were shut out of industries.
Yes.
And then, so I mean, look, I think it is important, and I'm glad that people are raising their voices, but I just think raising it at an extreme point, it's a bit problematic for me.
I feel the same way, because it's not like this is anything new, but it's it has to get to the extreme, like you were saying, until attention is brought into it. And it's just okay, are you all going to wait for a female that's beautiful again? Because it happened again with Riva Stinkam.
Yeah.
And now it's Eden. I think it's occurring more, and social media is highlighting it way more, but it's just
Okay.
Then it was going to be
what
quiet
happened? What
until the
happened
next.
with the story of Uyinene to those people who are ignorant enough to not even know
To
what's
not
happening?
know. So Uyinene went to the post office.
Imagine
Yeah.
that.
Went to the post office and found that her package or whatever was there, but the guy at the teller was like, our systems are down, so come back later. Came back later around 4-5 p.m.
After
before
they had closed, yeah.
Yeah, no, before they closed.
Was it
Yeah,
before?
before they closed. So but 5 o'clock I think they closed at 6 or whatever. I'm not too sure. My details might be wrong, but it was in the afternoon. And then she went there, and this guy was like, okay, I think step into my office or something. I can try help you and whatnot. Because the reason they found her was because somebody was like, wait, I went to that post office. And that guy also wanted to she had a till slip to, I forgot, I think, what was the guy's name? I forgot his name.
Yes.
But,
Should be erased from memory, that's why.
yeah, no. So the till slip had the same name, and that's how the cops went and found that is the guy that killed her, because the girl, the day before, not Uyinene, was like, wait, this guy helped me as well, and he tried to lure me into his office. And I said to him, no, check your system again, because I can't come back later. And then that's when, so Uyinene could come back later, and then apparently she fought. His statement is ridiculous. He says something
It's
like,
revolting,
it's
actually.
it's disgusting. In his statement, he says something like, this girl gave me trouble. when I tried to kill her.
Like she died fighting.
Like she died fighting. Like, excuse me, was she supposed to just lay there? Like, what are you saying? And then they went on to find that actually he had killed like the sisters, his sister-in-law. So psychologically, he's not okay.
Wow.
You know, and yeah, like it was a lot. So Nana died because she went to the post office.
Imagine.
You know, and the mom, and the mom at the funeral was like, you know, I warned my child about so many other places except the post office.
Yeah.
So we're not safe.
Okay, so because also there was another female as well who was trending, Natasha. So what's the story with Natasha's one as well?
Natasha's one, do you want to talk about it?
No, you can talk about it.
Like,
You seem to be on top of the facts.
No, I'm not on top of this fact specifically.
Okay.
But it was something like they killed her, not killed her,
No,
but like
so
hit
Natasha,
her.
I think they abducted her. So you know, Twitter went on an outrage, help us find her. So after a while, they found her on the doorstep of her home. So apparently the person took her, tortured her, raped her, beat her up, beat her to a bloody pulp, then dropped her off. So the mom had heard noise outside, and then she went and found her. Then took her to the hospital, only to find out that her, injuries were too severe, and she died at hospital.
Sure.
And this
What-
one kind of seems like somebody who actually knew her, because he knew exactly where to drop
Where
her
to
off
drop
as
her
well.
off. You see,
I mean, so we're not safe. Either people you know, people you may not know, and
it's
it's
strange,
just
stranger danger is no longer stranger danger.
No.
So it seems like basically all these things, you never say if it could be a stranger, it could be somebody whom you know you're related to, it could be your boyfriend, your
uncle.
your uncle, pretty much. I mean, I know
Stepfather.
there's the statistics that came out earlier on during this week, the crime stats, and apparently like about 3,000 every.
One
3
woman
hours.
is
Yes,
killed in every 3
yes.
hours. Yes.
I was like, damn, that's scary. How does that make you feel as a lady, Thando?
I think it makes obviously us feel very unsafe in our own country and in our own spaces. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we were speaking about how like you have so much anxiety now, even if you hear like things shuffling, whatever, and everywhere you are, you're sort of considering like, oh, okay, what happens like if in this and that. But I think the most like important thing, even with the stats that came out, is that it shows that a large majority of the time it's people that you know, and it's higher than strangers. So like literally people that you know will sexually harass you, will rape you, will kill you, and I think that's so concerning because we have male friends, we have male family members, and to think that these people are looking at us in this way, it's very unsettling for me.
Oh, it's like, where's the switch? Like, because you go from like growing up with these people, and then all of a sudden they see you as now you're a woman, and it's like, nah.
But also as well, I mean, sometimes they don't even wait for you to be a woman. I mean, also they rape little girls,
girls,
as infants even. So I mean, where do we draw the line as well?
Because I can imagine, like, usually they say, like, before you maybe go out to a place or whatever, like, so people will be like, you must pray before you go. Like, even if I'm just going to visit land where he stays or whatever. I can imagine with all these states, like, as a woman, it's actually like, it's a reality. Like, I pray. Like, I mean, for yourself, like, coming through to where we record today, like, anything could have happened.
Yeah,
You could have been
that's
targeted
true.
as a woman.
That's true.
And
So
in this
every-
case, raped,
Every 3 hours, you're literally grateful for not being killed. Literally, that's what it comes down to.
Because I'm kind of thinking, myself, if I step out at night, I already feel a certain fear I might get mugged and things. Then now you have to think about women, even during the day, like going to work, at work as well. You never know. So, I mean,
It's it's a lot. But like, I just want to ask you guys, like, also like based on the video, like when your friend, maybe it never has happened or maybe it has, like spikes a drink, like never happened.
Never happened.
the thing is,
I've not experienced
I've
it.
never
Yeah,
experienced
yeah.
so, but my thinking,
maybe
okay,
not like spiking
okay.
a drink, but if a friend of yours does something wrong to a girl, like maybe like grabs her ass and you guys are on the dance floor and you feel like kholiti, khumanati,
Yeah.
like what do you do? Do you then tell your friend, hey,
Anxiety.
whoa, cat? Or do you just like khumanati,
Okay.
she's dressed in leggings, so what did she expect?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think basically in terms of what you're trying to say as well is like, I'll give another example. In the instance where if I, as a guy, whatever, invite a girl over,
Yeah.
right, to wherever, to my place and whatever, right? So most guys genuinely, when you invite, you make sure there's alcohol and
Let's talk.
well,
Stock.
like if generally, as gents, when you invite a girl over, you would make, like if I'm inviting Thando over, I'll make sure there's a bit of alcohol. And if I plan on making any move, generally as guys will wait for that moment where I think the alcohol has kicked in
Wow.
into her system. And that is wrong. That's actually rape.
No, that's
Culture.
actually
that's really wrong.
rape. And
yeah.
also what we as guys also do as well is that like so if I try to make a move on her intoxicated and we're both intoxicated and she says no and I know I fetched her from wherever she stays, say she stays Eastgate for example, all right, so then she's like nah, she wants to leave, or when she wants to leave at the end, right, I'll go like, but I'm too drunk to drive, it's late,
Yeah.
whatever. Then we do that type of thing as well.
And then you guilt the girl into sort of
Yes.
staying.
What happened to Uber, guys? But then again, Uber is also not safe. So what
Yeah.
is safe?
No, okay, this girl is in varsity. Like,
Yeah.
you brought her here to like either chill or whatever. Then you get too drunk. You're not even trying to Uber. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're here to chill. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand. Like, when you see Kat now, he's getting this girl intoxicated. Are you just
What
like,
do you do?
it's
What
not my
do you
target
say?
market. I'm
You're
not
saying
in
when
it.
I see, the thing is, I think it's
Like,
it's
or you just like-
it's twofold, you know,
Yeah.
because at the instance, to be fair, I'm not actually thinking a cat is trying to, rape anyone or whatever it is.
yeah.
And also maybe it also brings on to a point that we weren't really as educated as towards adds to what
Yeah.
rape culture is. But when we see this happening and cat is getting drunk, they're getting drunk, my first thought is we're at a party. Unless cat does something that really show, then the girl starts showing, no, she's uncomfortable.
uncomfortable,
Then obviously,
yeah.
I've heard instances where I like tell my friends, like, look, man, you're making her uncomfortable. Just, there's a lot of other people out here. Go talk to them. But then in the instance,
No, Obatla Thando.
yeah,
If
but
it's
clearly,
the Thando,
Thando, but then
always
Thando is uncomfortable move, like,
Yeah.
as a friend. But then if we're just drinking and she's drinking and they're having a conversation, I can't be now, come to them like,
Is it also-
you're trying to get her drunk, move. Because we're at a party, she's
Yeah.
drinking, we're all drinking, so I don't know as to where we should
No, no,
draw
you
the
should let's
line.
talk about how like ahora.
They say the behave, I do.
No, I'm trying to make it realistic.
Fair point. So I'm saying with someone
Yeah.
or saying with some friends, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So in that time, we're not thinking, Kat has this intention of, his intention like, let me get her drunk. Unless, of course, he said earlier, which hardly guys ever tell you, like, no, I'm going to get her drunk, then I'm going to go in.
But like at the back of your mind, you know.
I wouldn't know because I don't do such things. Like, first of all, my girlfriend doesn't drink, so I don't go around flooding people with alcohol. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
But it's really actually
So,
quite bad.
To you, as the ladies, do you guys feel targeted by men? Do you think that men, it's something it's either they come from a dysfunctional family, or do you feel like your war is now against men? And why do you feel what has gotten men to that particular point?
Can start, Lisette.
You're the guest here. What is this? Like, if we're going to be quite honest, like everybody comes from a dysfunctional family, one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's about how you sort of deal with the dysfunctionality. Like, we're all broken. Like, that's the bottom line. But I think women are just such an easy target. Like, let's say you're petite, you're gonna pick her up, throw her down, So, growing up personally, I didn't feel any way because I grew up around boys. So I've always seen people as my brothers, So when these things started happening, or when I started high school, that's when I was like, hey, I don't like how you touching me actually, or things like that, So I think I think it's just a matter of we're an easy target. But I also think there are guys who also are targets, and get raped or sexually. Like, it's a lot because I'm not too sure who the football star was, but he got into a fight with somebody in the toilet because he was peeing and then some guy touched him a certain way and it triggered a memory that he had when he was raped when he was younger. So imagine all those years, you sort of block it and then it takes that one trigger, So the post office guy, what,
Yeah.
how, what did he go through? Not saying it was
justified.
it's
Yeah.
justified, it's a reason, but it's not justified. And it's just like, at what point do we start? Because I have nephews as well. Like, at what point?
Do you?
Like because
Okay.
Yeah.
like at what point do you? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but then again, what about education or parents, how they educate you? Because there's also this thing of saying, when a boy does something, they feel into boys will be boys. And then instead of reprimanding the boy for doing what he did, they're like, man, it's just a boy, he'll grow. But then obviously you
If
like,
it's a girl,
they
it's
always,
reprimanded.
you always feel like they're giving me leeway. If I do this, no, I'm a boy, it's okay. I do this, I'm a boy, it's okay. Parents come, you see, so what about those things then?
I think it goes a little bit further than that even, because I think it's so entrenched in history that women have always been at the bottom
Yes.
of everything. If you
Patriarchy.
look at like even war days, some of how they would punish the people is that they would rape their women and their children in order to get back at certain camps or whatever, or the opposition side. So women have always been, as a result of patriarchy, etc., at the bottom of like the pile, right? However, also on the other side, men have always been raised in this sort of macho, masculine way, and have been taught to like sort of have this mindset, right? And so when you're saying like, you guys are told it's fine because you're a boy, whatever, but you guys are also taught a lot of the time not to talk about your emotions, not to appear weak in any way.
Men don't
And
cry.
Men
Men-
don't
yeah,
cry.
yeah, men
And
don't cry.
I think that's raised a lot of broken men instead of a lot of strong men, because even in for example, because there is power in being able to be weak and vulnerable and still pick yourself up from that. I think that's real strength. But in terms of men, it's like some men, the deeper that you go, they've been like sexually abused or raped when they were younger, but they never speak about it because either you're going to be laughed at, or
Yeah,
it's
it's
like, how are
embarrassing.
you raped when you're a guy, but also it goes back to, for example, as well, like if you are in a position where you don't feel powerful as a man, you're going to try to exert your power on somebody and abuse them. So my point is, I think there's a lot of psychological issues that we are raising men to like carry, and I think it started from long ago.
Yeah.
And then
Also, just to add on to it,
Yeah.
because remember there was a time when Terry Crews actually came out and said, he was sexually harassed while he was trying to audition for some movie or something. And when he did come out, people were like, you know how big Terry Crews is.
Yes,
like,
yes.
So now they're coming out like, no, a big guy like you, how can you be raped? Why didn't you defend yourself and this? And they're making all sorts of jokes about it. So I think it also brings back to what you're saying now. As a guy, how do you even come out and talk about these things if your people are going to be like, start laughing at you?
And I
stuff?
wanted to ask, was it mostly guys come out and say, how, but you're a tough
You
guy?
know it
Say-
was guys.
Because oftentimes you can all be raised in the same family, same parents, and they raise the boy and the girl the same way. And then you go out and you have guy friends, and okay, they were raised differently or whatever. And then the poor mother went, most of the years raising this child, and they get this friend that's like,
That
no,
changes
you
who
can't
they are.
be crying, or you can't be doing this. So like as guys also like, why aren't you guys vulnerable around each other? Like, what is this?
But
because
Yeah,
the
just
problem
like
needs to be
take-
solved amongst you guys,
'Cause we can
because
talk
then
about
you
it.
attack us, so
To prove to your friends who team.
yes, you
That's okay, much.
killing us
Killing
because
us
you
too.
guys have issues here. So where are your issues starting? We'd like to know.
All right. So in terms of guys and our issues, I'd actually like to discuss that in the part 2 of our video.
Okay.
But
Okay.
for now, I just want to ask you guys in terms of social media, right? How much do you guys think social media contributes to the rape culture in itself? Do you think?
give it a
Do you,
second.
do you
Let's talk
think?
about
Do you
the
feel?
memes.
Do you feel that?
Let's just talk about the memes in jail, like that are on social media where
which
like,
meme specifically?
let me just go through my archives and find a
But then
specific one.
I think social media also mostly with me has to do the entertainment side, because everything people do is seen as fun. I don't know if I'm
I
making
do
sense.
appreciate that it does have some kind of a satire, and it helps the conversation when there's some kind of humor, right? But some things, like, we can't be joking about killing men, women, children,
Yeah.
you know? And I do appreciate that social media does, you know, like I think a lot of the cases we know about are because of social media. Like somebody goes missing, it's like, yo, my friend is missing. In the past where you couldn't have that. But it also has like the opposite power where if you have a group of people that are like, no, but then we didn't rape her, it wasn't a rape, and it was just like, she was just touched inappropriately or whatever. Like, and there's like crowds that like bully you or... So I think it's...
Before you continue, but
Yeah.
just to add to your point, I don't think social media is the actual problem. Because social media is a tool like anything. The
Yes.
same way people, you know, a gun doesn't kill anyone.
Yes.
The person uses the gun.
So-
So it goes back to what you were saying,
Saying.
how people were actually raised. Then now, obviously, behind social media, like, no one sees me.
So-
No one
you
sees me,
just,
let me go ahead.
You
And
show out
then-
your true self.
And then you
within
have lots
that.
of people that support what you're saying, so then
Exactly,
it
and
makes
now
it
you think,
okay for
yeah,
other
this
people.
is me.
You know?
So
But
actually,
a blame game is not gonna
I actually
work.
have a question. Actually, it was just for the ladies, but I think I'll also throw it to you at Lance as well.
And you must also
so,
Yeah, you must also answer. I'm waiting for your answer.
You also want to understand what's happening in your house.
Yeah.
So, will you as a lady, right, when you are on Instagram, right, and you see another girl on Instagram, on Explore, whatever, right, and they've posted like naked or semi-naked,
Half naked.
what is your thought? What goes through your mind at that time?
Go girl. That's my thought.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right, you don't think it's too much?
No, I think people have agency over their body and they're allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
And I don't think it should elicit anything. Just in the same way, if a man posts half naked, I'm like, wow. You know, so in the same way, the
I
woman,
think
I'm like, wow.
I'm inclined to agree with
That's
her
me.
because I mean it's her body, she does whatever she wants with it. So now I don't think it should be really, you know, sending out a message. It's no message to anything. It's just my body. It's a picture I like and I posted it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, like if she's renowned for posting pictures like that, like as long as she's not my friend, like do whatever you want to do. But generally my circle, nah.
No,
Yeah.
but if she's not your
if she's
friend,
not
like
my
if
friend,
you
like
see
the likelihood is that she's not even on my feed.
Okay.
But if she does happen to be on my feed, I hope she's the one that posted it rather than somebody reposting it. Because I'm from IT, I know that the pictures you post, they now belong to Instagram or whatever, and that social media platform owns those pictures, you know what I mean? So it's just that ownership thing for me. Like I would rather own my nudes.
also it's ownership thing. It's
No,
not about,
so-
to your end, it's not that the message.
So it's not about the picture, yeah, but then I hate it when then, let's say, they are then attacked because of
What they
the
posted.
picture. Then it's like, but it's my feed, you can unfollow me.
So if
or
this
whatever.
was your little sister, how would you
Oh, yarr, I would have her, hey?
feel? And
Yeah, I would
yourself?
have her.
I
would
wouldn't.
have her.
I
Oh
really,
my gosh, you're
I
better
really
person
wouldn't
than me.
Okay.
I really,
No, me,
I
I'm
really
all
wouldn't.
about
How
hey,
do
be who
guys
you want.
Yeah, I
Me,
would
I'm
have-
all
yeah.
about be who
What
you
he
want.
saying?
I would have her,
I
hey?
really.
No, so
Like, unless it's like, she's getting paid for it, like Kim Kardashian, then yeah.
No.
Who am I?
I mean, I even have acquaintances who do that, but like, for example, they're very intellectual, very driven individuals. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's your body, your agency. Go girl. Like, you motivating me.
What's that, son?
ladies and gentlemen,
And
this
you
is
can't-
where now my thoughts are coming.
I want to know what your
They
thoughts
come
are about
in
this
the
one.
second part of the video. We unfortunately have to cut
Cats
this.
really
Cats,
Dodges everything.
So unfortunately we have to cut this. Check out part 2 on T Sundays. Don't forget to like, subscribe both channels. And thank you for viewing. And shout out to you, our viewers, our subscribers, our first time and last time viewers.
Oh, what's the last
And-
time?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.